This could be the end of Darrell Issa's, I'm not going to call it glittering, his congressional career. Hi everybody, San Diego Politics Show here. I'm your host, Matt Strabone. I'm here with my co-host, Andy Keatts, and we are about as on scene as most of the people running in the race we're about to tell you about. We have news in California's 48th congressional race. That is the seat currently held by Darrell Issa. It is also being contested by the likes of Ammar Campa-Najjar, Marty von Wilpert, Brandon Riker, and Karina Contreras. Andy, what is the news?
Well, at the buzzer, we have learned that Jim Desmond, who had been running one district over against Representative Mike Levin, has decided not to run in that race, is instead running in the 48th district, which means that Representative Darrell Issa, who had been running for re-election in the 48th district, has decided not to seek re-election at all.
That's pretty crazy. Darrell Issa has now, for the second time, looked a hard race in the face and has stepped back and said, I don't want any part of that. He did the same thing in 2018 when it looked like he was going to lose. All right, so Andy, how does this impact the race itself? Does Desmond carry a better chance or a worse chance than Issa of holding the seat?
Yeah, I mean, I think he carries less baggage than Issa. I think if you were the DCCC or if you're any of these candidates and you wanted to run a race against a specific opponent, you would have rather run a race against Darrell Issa, who has name recognition and who has a playbook that you can pull out and run. Jim Desmond was the former mayor of San Marcos. He has also represented the county supervisorial district that covers the San Diego portion of the 48th district. So I think he makes a lot of sense in that district. I think you could see him as a very competitive candidate in that district. And I think he certainly has a shorter list of weaknesses than Representative Issa had in the district.
So I guess this is the end of the line for Darrell Issa. There's no moving to Texas. That filing deadline already closed. Unless there's some other state he thinks he wants to move to, this could be the end of Darrell Issa's, I'm not going to call it glittering, his congressional career. What do you think his legacy is, Andy?
I mean, I guess you would have to point to that short stint in the early Obama years when he appeared on the Bill Maher program a lot and used to kind of present himself as a bit of a reasonable Republican who could talk to Hollywood types. I don't know. That was when he was in charge of the oversight committee. I can't really think of any major victories that he racked up during his time in Congress. I don't know. Do you disagree?
No, I think that's right. I mean, I think he shed that persona pretty quickly. He's been a hard right member of Congress for a long time now. The one thing I always think about when I think about Darrell Issa is during the recall campaign about 20 plus years ago now, when Gray Davis was recalled, Darrell Issa poured over $1 million into that with the idea that he would be the Republican who might replace Gray Davis as the governor. But the last minute, Arnold Schwarzenegger jumped into that race. Darrell Issa gave a press conference where he was on the verge of tears, saying that he would not run. I think he wanted that more than anything, and he didn't get it. I think more or less that's the thing people are going to remember him for if they're old enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he was, you know, when there was a time when running against Obama was going to be based on all the stuff that Issa was going to dig up after 2010, when the Tea Party took control of Congress, and he was put in charge of the oversight committee, and they mostly came up empty on a lot of those investigations that he ran.
No great surprise. There wasn't much there, as it turned out, as we learned over and over and over again over the course of the 8 years of the Obama presidency. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Good night, Darrell, and be sure to tune in to the next episode of the San Diego Politics Show, which will air at its normal time. Thanks.